Well, it's a pretty exciting morning out there. If you haven't paid any attention yet, Elon's mission to China was a huge success, according to all the reporting that's out this morning. And the pre-market seems to be very happy about the news with about a 10% move. Here's how one report described the deal. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Tesla has won Beijing's blessing to roll out its advanced driver assistance service in China as chief executive Elon Musk made a surprise visit to the company's biggest overseas market. Chinese officials told Tesla that Beijing has tentatively approved the company's plan to launch its full self-driving software feature in the country. People familiar with the matter said. The U.S. electric vehicle maker will deploy its autonomous driving services based on mapping and navigation functions provided by Chinese technology giant Baidu. The partnership clears an important regulatory hurdle for Tesla to offer its driver assistance program here. Partnering with the Chinese company helps ease the regulators' concerns over the data security issue. Bloomberg earlier reported the deal with Baidu, which is in addition to its core search engine business, has expanded into autonomous driving and artificial intelligence. The approval follows a meeting between Musk and top Chinese officials, including Premier Li Shuang. Anyway, I'm not sure I pronounced it, who was previously the Communist Party chief in Shanghai, where Tesla was setting up its product. When Tesla set up there, Elon mentioned in a couple of interviews over the weekend that he's known this guy for like 20 years. On Monday, Musk also met with Robin Zhang, chairman of Tesla battery supplier CATL in Beijing. So Elon's back on the job, and when I say that, I say it with a wink, because I don't think he ever left the job, but he's becoming extremely visible and also making moves. And of course, every time he makes one of these moves, the stock jumps. So now the stock has gone up dramatically in just a couple of weeks, and I don't think we've seen the end of that. Of course, I've been wrong before, but I think we're moving towards this FSD and robotaxi and supervised robotaxi services potentially before a full-on robotaxi. Anyway, it all looks really positive going forward. Not investment advice. This from Gary Black this morning. He says the Tesla 10Q is out this morning and shows 281 million of FSD deferred revenue recognition in Q1. That's versus 134 in Q1 of last year. So about double the amount, a little more than double the amount of FSD. Now you realize FSD is another one of those categories where Tesla has received the revenue, but they can't book all of the revenue in terms of revenue and our profits because the FSD itself is not fully operational. Think of this like a subscription to a magazine. It's the number one example people use. You get a subscription. What is a subscription to a magazine? Yeah, I know. All right. All of you guys are old enough to remember. Anyway, you get a subscription to the magazine and you pay in advance. The magazine can't book that revenue they book the revenue 1/12 at a time. Each month they book 1/12 of the revenue and the profits, even though they're sitting on the money from day one. That's how that works. Same thing with full self-driving. Since it is not fully operational, they haven't been able to book all of it. Now the article goes on, or Gary Black goes on to say that Tesla now estimates 848 million of deferred revenue expected to be recognized over the next 4 months, or 12 months rather. So that means about this level, 250, 220, something like that, $1,000 per quarter would be the amount we're going to be seeing. Teslarati has this morning. It appears that the initial batch of Tesla's highly anticipated spring release update has started rolling out for Cybertruck. This was hinted at in a comment from Cybertruck lead engineer on social media platform X. Tesla's spring release is expected to be significant, with a notable visual update for Model 3 and Model Y AMD chips that have AMD chips, auto shift beta improvements for Model S and Model X units from 2021 model year and later, and hands-free trunk features, among others. The Cybertruck is expected to receive a number of key improvements, including including power sharing from vehicle to home, a colorizer, and a turning circle update. That would give the tank turn capability. As we head into the perilous week, okay, this is going to be a crazy week, all right? We've got the Fed, we've got the job numbers, we've got the productivity numbers. We've got a lot of stuff going on this week that is the potential for the stock market to really tank or really go up. But I all of a sudden had this kind of moment as I was thinking about all this morning. Here I am on vacation, so the brain operates differently, and potentially this will make no sense to you. But let me know in the comments below. We have a time that we're ahead. I've been reporting on this, for the 14 months that I've been reporting here, but before that, in my books and the Elon Musk mission in particular, we're on the verge of technological breakthroughs that are crazy, and sometimes it's easy to be so in it that you don't back up and go, no, these are crazy times. And you're talking to normal folks out there that aren't paying any attention to this. They have no idea of what's about to happen. And so you get kind of lulled into this, oh, well, just business as usual. No, this is not business as usual. We have AI, possible AGI, robotic cars, humanoid robots, medical tech that's changing everything about medicine from cures as opposed to just palliatives, from cures, and also even the delivery methods are changing. And all of this is coming on top of the fact that we already have worldwide wealth that nobody could have contemplated 50 years ago or 100 years ago. Unfortunately, many humans continue to behave horrifically, even though they're wealthy. In fact, some of the most wealthy, and when I say that, I mean upper middle class folks that are at our colleges right now, are behaving the worst. They're behaving horrifically. And this, I think, is going to be the biggest challenge we're going to be facing. We're not going to be facing a challenge of where to sleep or how to get food or, what kind of entertainment we can enjoy. No, we're going to have too much entertainment and too much food opportunities and too much wealth. And we're going to have more and more of these idiots going, I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? More and more people whose brains seem to be on fire, acting less generous and more selfishly. As we get hooked up on tech, it seems we're getting more interested in being hooked up in tech as opposed to be hooked up with other humans at any level. And then when we do get hooked up, we go out and do these crazy things. Anyway, for the purpose of this channel, though, regardless of any dips in the economy or in the markets, the next 10 years should be bonkers. So this is not investment advice. I'm just saying, I think you should be long, not you. I think in general, being long equities and of course, long Tesla is going to be the way to go. All right, where are we right now? We have got Tesla in the pre-market up 10.58, $17.80 at 186.09. The next stopping point, of course, would be 200. That's going to be a psychological, round number thing. And then from there, there is really nothing to keep Tesla from going all the way back to 300. Oh yeah, there are levels, there are technical levels it's going to have to break through. But in general, going back to 300 is kind of that next really big thing. We've been down this road before. There's so many things that could go wrong in the meantime. News is news, okay, but analysis. With full self-driving in China, with full self-driving on the way, with the Model 3, with the model, whatever it's going to be called, the new model coming out in later this year or beginning of next year, with the Cybertruck ramping. I mean, all of these things are extremely positive, and it should be a phenomenal year. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at where the bonds are right now. Let's see. The headline on CNBC right now is about Tesla jumping 10% in the pre-market. So let's go on to the bonds. We have got the bonds are sitting at down 4.5 basis points on the 10-year in the beginning of today's market. That's interesting. What are people thinking is going to happen this week? Every headline I see say people are expecting maybe 2 rate cuts later this year, not starting until, July. Maybe later, maybe after the elections, maybe none at all. That, of course, is my position right now, is none at all. The 2-year is also down 2.1 basis points, but the 2-month is actually up 0.3 of a basis point. Anyway, of course, all of that means is we're widening those inversions again, which has been the case for the last 2 or 3 days. Okay, then let's go to oil. We have got oil sitting at unchanged this morning. Brent up 30 cents, 89.20 for Brent and 83.85 for Texas Intermediate. So it's kind of where it's been for the last 3 or 4 days. Natural gas up again this morning at $1.93, up 0.73%, heading toward maybe getting close to breakthrough 2. We have got the gold up a tad this morning, 23.53, up 6.40. Silver up also 0.58%. Copper up again, 0.83 at 4.6. I think that's the highest we've seen it recently. Maybe the highest I've seen it since I've been reporting. We're getting very, very close to that 4.75, which is the all-time high. Very, very close. Again, probably because of the data centers. Then we've got the dollar slightly dipping, but the yen falling apart this morning. Yeah, not good for the yen right now. We've got the Bitcoin down 1,439. That is at 62,316. I saw a couple of headlines about the technicals on the Bitcoin are not good right now. Don't know what that means. Just passing it along in case you want to try to find that article and follow up for your own purposes. Okay, on the equities this morning, we've got the Dow up. Now remember, this is pre-market at 7:43 Eastern. We have got the Dow up 60 or 0.16%. We've got the S&P futures up 12.25 or 0.24%, a little higher even than the Dow percentage, and the NASDAQ futures even higher than that, up 59.25 or 0.33%. That probably has a lot to do with Tesla this morning. What do you think? All right. So from Niagara Falls, reporting and doing my best to come in as often as possible. Brian White and I have a scheduled thing maybe for later today, so maybe we'll get a video out. And then I will, I know Larry Goldberg will not be joining me for good news, assuming there is a good news program at all. It all depends on how much fun I'm having. No, it all depends on whether I can break through the fun and put something together that would be useful for you. And of course, looks like we will have good news today. What do you think? All right, that's all I got for you right now. It's